Hey everybody, it's Ryan here with Chosen Society. There's one spiritual law that most chosen ones break that's causing them to be stuck. Okay, so there's one specific mistake that most chosen ones make that's causing them to be stuck in cycles. I'm going to talk about it today, but do me a quick favor, like this video, share this video with another chosen one. Let's see, are you making this mistake? Now, if you're a chosen one, one of my most popular videos on this channel is where I talk about how there are times in your life where you may be separated from your family, where you may be separated from your hometown, where you may be separated from the things that you love that cause you comfort. And one of the most overwhelming comments that I received from people is talking about how much they hated this process, how much they didn't want this process to be in their lives. And I can see how many people are breaking this spiritual law. And so in this video, I'm going to show you what the law is so you never make this mistake again, so that you're never stuck in a cycle longer than you need to be. You see, as a chosen one, there's typically 3 perpetual types of cycles that we benefit from moving in and out of. Number 1 is wilderness, number 2 is transition, and number 3 is promise. So we typically move from cycle and season to season. And in these different seasons, they're supposed to teach us different things about ourselves. We're supposed to learn different things about those seasons, about ourselves, our ministry, the things that we have to work on. How you doing? And to move our lives and our situations forward. So one of the things about wilderness that I learned so much is that the biggest reason for wilderness is a training school. This is where you cut your teeth. This is where you learn so much about God, and you learn so much about yourself. This is where you learn to distinguish and learn and discern his voice from another voice. This is where you learn to have intimacy and intimate time with him. This is where you build your relationship. This is where you start to understand how God moves, how God flows, how he works. You start to learn about your spiritual gifts, how your spiritual gifts work, and different things like that. There's so many different things that I would not have learned had it not been for wilderness. And wilderness is not just for you spiritually, it's also for you personally. There's certain things that you learn during wilderness. One of the things I learned is how to set boundaries. How to speak up for myself, how to know when it's time to end a relationship, how to know when I'm being taken advantage of, how to know what I even like as a person, how do I know what I want out of life. Wilderness causes you to be in a situation where you just have ample time to think, where you have ample time to just sit with yourself, to sit with God, to truly learn things about yourself, learn things about your ministry, learn things about your calling, learn things about where you're supposed to go with your life. And none of these things happen without that process. So there is a spiritual law that most people break, especially when it pertains to wilderness, because usually this is the most difficult time of your life, is when you're in the wilderness, and it's the law of honor. Most people dishonor wilderness, or most people dishonor the next season, which is transition. These 2 seasons, most people dishonor being there because they criticize the fact that they're there. They talk so much about being there. They're so negative about why they have to be here that they miss the whole point, which is to build a relationship with God, understand, identify your purpose, grow and mature spiritually, become equipped, and become an unstoppable agent of change in the world, because you learn about your spiritual gifts, learn how they operate, learn how they flow, learn how they function, so that you can be released into the world with power. So when you're standing in promise, that you literally are a reflection and a humanistic image of who God created you to be, that your light is a shining light and a beacon that attracts people to you, so that when people do come to you, that you're not so hurt because of what happened to you in wilderness or happened to you before you were even in the wilderness experience, that you don't bruise those relationships, that you don't treat people badly, that you don't cause people to exit your life unnecessarily because you haven't healed from your trauma, or you haven't healed from the things and the circumstances that allowed you to be here. So this is one of the biggest areas where most people miss it, where most people get hung up, and they truly get stuck in cycles. Because it's like, one thing that I've learned about God is the Bible refers to him or Jesus as a school master or a tutor. And one thing that you learn about school, a great teacher, a great instructor is going to continue to give you a test until you learn the information. Not that you have the answers to the information, but that you truly learn the information. So sometimes we see ourselves repeating cycles, repeating situations. They come in different forms in our lives because we never truly learned the test. We prayed for grace, we prayed for mercy, and God showed up, he did something, and now we don't experience this thing, but we have to go back around the mountain again. We come back to the same circumstance until we truly defeat the thing that's causing us the despair, until we truly defeat the thing that's blocking us from truly stepping into purpose, right? So most chosen ones find themselves in these cycles of going back through wilderness and transition, wilderness and transition, wilderness and transition, but never truly experiencing promise because they dishonor the season. So again, the law of honor is one of the most important laws that's out there. It's one of the laws that has promise attached to it. We're supposed to honor God. We're supposed to honor the Lord. We're supposed to honor our mother and our fathers. We're supposed to honor those people who deserve honor and esteem in our lives. We honor the men and women of God who serve us, the men and women of God who gives us the word of life concerning our lives. And so when we find ourselves either dishonoring experiences or dishonoring the people who we're supposed to give honor to, again, we have to go back through that cycle one more time until we learn everything that we're supposed to learn. So I don't want you guys to stay in this season any longer. I'm not staying in this season any longer. So make sure that you're recognizing the law of honor, giving honor where it's supposed to be due. If there are men and women of God who are in your life who are supposed to be there, then honor them. Make sure if they're giving you instructions that you follow the instructions that they're giving you, if it's coming from God. And if you believe it's not coming from God, then why are you attached to them? Why are you fellowshipping? Why are you connected to them? But again, I just want you guys to see this spiritual law. It's called the law of honor. This is the biggest mistake most people make, is they dishonor the season that they're in, and they dishonor the whole process. So again, there's 3 types of seasons that you're going to be in most often as a chosen one. Either that's going to be a season of wilderness, a season of transition, or a season of promise. Make sure that you honor every season the same, whether that's you experiencing promise or whether that's you're experiencing wilderness. Have the same sense of joy, have the same sense of contentment wherever you are. And I promise you, you will be in the season you don't want to be in less. You'll be in the season that you want to be in more, by making sure you honor those things. So with that being said, this is the law of honor. God bless you guys. Like this video, share this video with somebody else. Hope it blesses you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.